You know, for decades, one thing was absolutely certain. Cable TV was the king of the living room. But that reign is officially over. A new contender has not so quietly taken the throne, and the data tells a pretty incredible story about how it all went down.
So let's just ask the big question right up front. When you settle onto your couch and you grab that remote, who is really winning the war for your attention? You might think you know the answer, but the numbers reveal a massive, seismic shift in what it even means to watch TV today.
Okay, so the first piece of the puzzle is the big picture. According to Nielsen, streaming now accounts for almost half of all TV viewership. Think about that. That's more than cable and good old-fashioned broadcast TV combined. So we know streaming is the new boss. But honestly, that's just the beginning of the story.
So, within streaming, who's the top dog? Well, it's probably not who you think. YouTube has captured a record 12.5% of all TV viewing. That puts it way ahead of Netflix, way ahead of Disney+, ahead of literally everybody. It's not just leading the pack, it's completely changing the game.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. YouTube is now the #1 television platform in the United States. This is a monumental shift in the media world. So the question has to be, how on earth did we get here?
So, how did YouTube actually pull this off? Well, the first part of the answer is actually pretty simple. A sheer, overwhelming, unbelievable flood of content. Okay, just think about this for a second. At its absolute theoretical peak, if you took every single one of the 20,000 HD cable channels and had them run completely unique stuff 24/7, no reruns, no infomercials, they could produce, at most, 480,000 hours of content in a day. And that is a very optimistic, best-case scenario.
Now compare that theoretical number to YouTube's reality. On an average day, YouTube creators upload over 500,000 hours of new content. That means YouTube's actual daily output is bigger than cable's theoretical maximum. It's an unmatched fire hose of content, and it's on every single day. And this really gets to the fundamental difference in their models, right? Cable was always curated, it was centralized, it was limited by crazy production costs and licensing deals. YouTube is the total opposite. It's decentralized and it's user-driven. Anybody with a camera can add to this massive global library. The barrier to entry isn't some big studio deal, it's just hitting upload.
But look, a flood of content doesn't matter if nobody's there to watch it. So the second piece of this whole puzzle is the audience itself. YouTube didn't just win on volume, it won the war for our eyeballs.
So how to capture so many eyeballs? It really boils down to 4 key advantages. Unlike cable, which is locked into specific regions, YouTube is global. It's on every single device you own. Its user-generated content model means there's a niche for absolutely everyone. And, maybe most importantly, it's free. That combination built a global audience in the billions.
Okay, but here's where it gets a little tricky. If YouTube is so dominant, why does some of the data on how much time we spend watching seem to tell a different story? This is what I call the snacking versus dinner paradox. So check this out. Take viewing habits in Canada, for instance. The average adult there watches over 20 hours of traditional TV a week, but they only watch about 5 hours of YouTube. So wait a minute, how can YouTube possibly be winning if people are spending 4 times as long watching regular TV?
And the answer lies in this really simple but super powerful analogy. Traditional TV is like a scheduled sit-down dinner. You commit to an hour-long drama or a half-hour sitcom. YouTube, on the other hand, is like snacking throughout the day. You're just grabbing a quick, satisfying bite whenever you feel like it.
So you see, it's not about the duration of a single session. It's about the frequency and the sheer number of people who are snacking. 1 billion people taking small bites all day long has a much bigger cultural impact than a few million sitting down for a long dinner. The real influence comes from the massive global scale of all those frequent, shorter sessions. All right, let's bring it all together now with a final scorecard. When you really put them head-to-head, the scale of this shift becomes impossible to ignore. I mean, the data here just tells the whole story. YouTube is #1 in US TV viewing, and its growth on actual TV screens is exploding, while traditional TV is steadily declining. It's reaching broader and broader demographics, it's global, and it's on demand. Cable, on the other hand, is still regional and scheduled. Every single trend line across all of these key metrics points in one very clear direction.
And all of this leaves us with a final and pretty fascinating question. For 70 years, TV was something that was broadcast to us. Now, the #1 TV platform is a place where the audience is also the broadcaster. This shift completely redefines the whole medium, and it forces us to ask, what does TV even mean anymore?